All right, hello everyone, happy Monday. Today we are doing Module 2, Lesson 6, which is dividing a whole number by a fraction. So before we get into the first question, I do want to talk a little bit about what these words at the top mean. So remember, dividing is splitting into equal parts. So you know that 4 divided by 2 is 2, 8 divided by 4 is 2, we could do 36 divided by 6 is 6. We know that we're taking a whole number and splitting it into groups. Now, whole number, when we think of the difference between a whole number and a fraction, I really want you guys to think about pizzas. So remember, a whole number would be an entire pizza. That would be one pizza. And this would be 2 pizzas. However, a fraction is when we take a whole and we split it up. So if this is one whole, now I have 2 halves. If I split it again, I have 4 fourths. So I'm going to shade in this part just so we can talk about the parts of a fraction. So in this piece, I have 1 fourth of a pizza shaded in. The 1 is our numerator, and the 4 is our denominator. So now that we have some of these parts talked about, we are going to get into the first question. So the first one says, how many pores of a 3/5 cup measuring cup fill a 3-cup container? Draw a tape diagram to support your thinking. So before we get started, I want you to think if you're making some sort of lemonade or something, and you have to use a measuring cup to continue to pour into a larger space. So that's what you're thinking of. You're having to pour multiple times into a larger container. So we read it once. Now we want to annotate it. I'm going to circle our numbers. We have 3/5 and 3. The question is, how many pours will it take, and to draw a tape diagram. I know this isn't a question, but it does tell us how they would like us to show our work. Now we need to box in keywords. So I'm going to box in the word cup for 3/5 of a cup, and then 3-cup container. So since it told us to draw a tape diagram, that is what we're going to be starting with. I want you guys to think, with our tape diagram, we had different boxes representing different amounts. For this one, we want to have 3 holes. So we're going to have 3 whole cups, which means we need 3 boxes. So I always start with one larger tape, and then I split it into 3. So this is 1 cup, 2 cups, 3 cups. I'm going to write 1 cup right there just so you can see that this whole piece is 1 cup. Now, since we're going to be splitting this up a little bit more, I'm going to extend these lines just so we can keep track of where a whole is and where a part is. So we have 1 cup, which means this whole thing is 3 cups. Now, since we want to know how many pours of a 3/5 cup measuring cup, this denominator, so 3/5, this denominator will tell us how much we need to split each cup by. So this we want to split each cup in 5. So we already have 1, 2, 3, and now each cup we want to have fifths. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4 lines, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. We need to keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's okay if they're not even. Mine aren't either. So again, remember, we just drew 4 lines, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. And one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, which makes 5 boxes. So real quick check right now. We should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 total boxes. So now getting back to the question, it says how many pours of a 3/5 cup measuring cup fill a 3-cup container? So right now we have this entire container, but each time we go and we dump a measuring cup into it, we are only going to have 3/5. So 1, 2, 3, this is 3/5. We're going to keep counting those 3. So we have 1, 2, 3. The next one is also 3/5. We're going to take 3 more. 3 more again. And now we have 3/5. So it fit perfectly. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it would take 5 pours of a 3/5 cup measuring cup to fill a 3-cup container. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit just to make sure you can see it all in one. Oops, wrong way. And if you need to pause the video here, you can, but if you're ready to keep going, I am going to move to number 2. So at this point, I would like you to think sorry, I'm learning how to use this. So we're going to read it, and then I'm going to ask a question that I want you to think about. So it says, how many pours of a 3/4 cup measuring cup fill a 4-cup container? Draw a tape diagram to support your thinking. So if you notice, number 2 is exactly like number 1, it just has different numbers. So we are going to annotate it on our second read through. I see we have 2 numbers, 3/4 and 4, so I'm going to circle those. Our question is how many pours, and to draw a tape diagram. And then we're going to box in the keywords. So this 3/4 is talking about a cup, and this 4 is also talking about a cup. So now my question to you is, thinking about the one up here, how many full boxes are we going to have down here? If you said 4 whole cups, you are correct. So we want to split this. We now have each of these is 1 cup. So we have 1 cup, 2 cup, 3 cups, 4 cups. This is 4 cups. Now, I'm going to do the same thing I did up here. I'm just going to make this a little bit darker so that we can differentiate the pieces to the wholes. So again, we got 4 cups. Now, we need to split each cup into 4ths. Because if we want to take 3/4, that means we have to have each of these in 4ths to work with. So I'm going to draw my 3 lines, which means 4 boxes. We have 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, which makes 1 cup. Again, we're going to split this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and last one. So if you are counting these, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 boxes. Now, since we want to be pouring in 3/4 at a time, we're going to take out 3 each time. So this is 3/4. Then we're going to include this one. That's 3/4 as well. We're going to take 3 more. We're going to take 3 more. And we're going to take 3 more. So you'll notice that there's still 1/4 left over. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a little bit more than 5. So we're going to say a little more than 5 pours of a 3/4 cup measuring cup to fill a 4-cup container. Now that we have this, I'll leave that there for you again. Please pause if you need help, or excuse me, if you need more time to write it down. Pause now would be a good time. And then I'm going to move on. So, this last piece on this page, it says 6 pours of what size cup fill a 4-cup container exactly to the top. Show your work. So these two are different. Before we knew how much of each, like how much cup of each that we were pouring in, and for this one, that's the question. So we're going to annotate. We have 3 pours of what size cup? So we have 6 and 4. We're going to underline the question, which is really just this whole thing. But I'm going to write pours of what size cup fill a 4-cup container exactly to the top. So we always want to be thinking about this as our whole. So we really want, I am drawing a tape diagram, but we're not really going to use it. So we're thinking about 1, 2, 3, 4 cups. We're thinking if we pour in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, how many did we pour each time? So one way you can think about this is 6 times what equals 4. Right? Because we're going to pour some number that we don't know. This is our question mark. We're going to pour something in 6 times. And then we're going to get 4 wholes. So we're trying to think what fraction times 6 will get us to 4. So I want you to think about this. I'm not going to share the answer with you right now. I want you to think about it, and then we'll talk about it a little bit later. So you don't have to write all of this down. Please make sure that you got number 1 and number 2. But 6, I just want you to think about. And we'll be talking about this a lot more throughout this week. So now I'm going to do one more example for you. It is going to look a little bit different. So we are now on the next page. It still says tape diagram. So even though it doesn't explicitly tell us to do tape diagrams, we will be using them for today. As we move throughout this unit, we will move away from tape diagrams, but just because we're talking about fractions and fractions already come in parts, I want to include that for you. So, number 4, Mr. Evans buys 6 large sandwiches for a class party. Each student eats exactly 3/5 of a sandwich. The students eat all of the sandwiches. what number of students ate the sandwiches? So on our second read through, we're going to circle our numbers. We have a 6 and a 3/5. We're going to underline the question, what number of students ate the sandwiches? And we're going to box in keywords. So we have 6 sandwiches over here, and then we have 3/5 of a sandwich. So I want you to think, if we had these sandwiches, I'm actually going to show them a little bit separate because I want you to think about this in a real case scenario. So instead of having a full tape diagram, I'm going to draw 3 different sandwiches because this is personally how I would think about it. So we have 3. I just said 3. We have 3, but we need 6. So we have 6 of these large sandwiches. Now, remember, since we're going to have 3/5 of a sandwich, that means each sandwich is going to be cut in fifths. Each sandwich cut into 5 pieces. So for this one, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. So each of these sandwiches should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. Now what we're thinking about is, let's say I go up, Miss Callum, and I grab 3/5 or 3 pieces of this sandwich. So I'm going to take these 3 right here. Then the next person comes up. They're going to take 1, 2 of this sandwich, but they're also going to take 1/3 of this. So that's another 3/5. The next person comes up and takes 3/5 here. We see 1, 2, 3. The next person takes the last piece here, but they still want 2 more. So they're going to come over here and take this one. And then there's one more person to take 3/5 here. The same thing is going to continue with the next 3 sandwiches. So another student comes up and takes 3/5 here. Another person comes up and takes 3/5 from here. We have 3/5 taken from this sandwich, 3/5 taken from this sandwich, and 3/5 taken from this. So I'm going to draw these lines a little bit bigger where the 3/5 are cutting off. So we have 1 person, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 students ate the sandwiches. Now, I'm going to stop here. You have 2 more to do on your own. Please ask if you have any questions. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see the whole thing. I guess I can't. Please pause this if you need to see it. If you need to rewatch, you can. But if not, I'm here to answer any questions that you have. And good luck with these next 2. I will have the answers up at the front for you.